Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Flawless Knowledge. Today, I would like to discuss a very important subject. The subject is acceptance. Acceptance is the solution, and that is what will hopefully make our mind our best friend instead of our worst enemy. Now, I'd mainly like to talk about two things. One, accepting people for whom they are, and not trying to change them for our own benefits or to make them the way we would like them to be, and also accepting the situation for what it is, as it is what it is, instead of wanting it to be another way, which obviously, when that does not occur, can cause a lot of issues to the mind. So let's begin. As I'm sure most of you out there are aware, a lot of people like to make friends, associates with people on their more or less same wavelength, same characteristics, and they try to avoid people that are not on that level. And that's, of course, how you make friends and so on and so forth. But however, in life, you're going to meet people who, of course, are not your friends. They're your family members, or they're work colleagues, or, random people that you meet. Now, of course, these people are not going to be on the same wavelength as you are or have the same characteristics as you do. And what tends to happen is we tend to shun, push those people away because they're not, on our level. However, we have to understand that we are one. We are all, brothers and sisters out there. In reality, we are all, one people. And we need to understand to accept people for who they are and appreciate their differences. Because when you learn to appreciate their differences, that's what makes life unique and so different. And instead of us trying to mold them, because I know a lot of you out there, even I myself, am guilty of that. When you want, your loved ones to act in a certain way, or your friends, and you think, wait a minute, how could you do that and why? But it all is that person. That is not you. You can only act the way you want to act. And I'm sure, no one's perfect. You may have offended someone in the way you act. And of course I have as well, many times in the past. But the point is, the mind, like I said, can be our best friend. And we can learn to use these tools as, acceptance, appreciation, and learn to accept people for who they are. And instead of trying to change them and change their characteristics, because unfortunately in life you can't really change anyone. A person is what a person is. We just need to, appreciate them. I'm not saying, love your enemy, because it's extremely hard to do. I mean, I can't do that in all honesty. But we need to, learn to live with them and not let their attitude and their behavior get to you. Because like I mentioned, my channels about mastering the mind and not letting an external event or person have control over your mind, because in my point of view that's a form of slavery. Because if someone outside of you has control over you, then you have no control whatsoever over yourself. So we need to learn to get that control and accept people for who they are. And for a week, just try to, let not people get, rub you up the wrong way. Even if they do, just say, okay, this person, that's his character. I'm not going to let that change me or make me, but try it that way and learn to accept people for who they are. Right, on to point number 2, the mind. Now, for some unknown reason, the mind always is contemplating about the future or the past and what outcomes it would like from the future. You sit there, you think, okay, I want this to happen. You start fantasizing about it and the possible, outcomes that's going to occur. And what happens, unfortunately, is the heart gets attached to these desired outcomes. And obviously, when the outcomes do not happen, the mind starts to become upset, the emotions kick in, anxiety, stress, so on, so forth. And if not the future, it's contemplating about the past events, what could have been, and how things could have been different, and what you could have done that could have made, the future outcome different. And in all honesty, it's a total waste of time. In life, what is meant to be will be. The future is not always to see, and acceptance is the key. When we learn to accept the outcomes, good or bad, we can learn to become more calm and relaxed and just, go with the flow, because like I mentioned in my other videos, everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Happiness, sadness, it comes and goes. And, try not to get so attached to the outcome or, how you want things to be. Because when you do, it's going to make you go all crazy with depression, anxiety, and all the other, mental issues out there which can be totally avoided, but that is the outcome. But that doesn't mean, you give up on yourself, or you don't try to be your best and you don't hope for the best possible outcomes. I mean, always, hope and think positive for the future, and always try, to aspire and go for the goal that you want to achieve. And hopefully in the future that does occur. But what I'm trying to say is don't get too attached to that outcome, because sometimes that outcome doesn't occur, and maybe it's for, it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it's a good thing that outcome didn't occur, because, sometimes in life you don't know what's best for you, and sometimes things occur and it's like a movie. In the long run, it might be a benefit for you if that desired outcome didn't occur. So, do your duty with all your heart, knowing you gave your best, and then leave it. I know it's very hard to do, but please try not to get so attached to the outcome, so it doesn't have so much control over your life. And like I mentioned, we all know the mind is always seeking sense gratification and loves to contemplate on ways of achieving that. The mind, will always think of, okay, in the future, if this happened, or, how good I would feel, and how, all those feelings. But it's all a lie. It's all a temporary illusion. And, it's the honeymoon phase. And once you achieve that thing that you really desired, if you do achieve it, which hopefully you do, one day you'll want something better. But, like I said, we can do this. We can learn to accept the situations in life, and also learn to accept the people in our lives and the people that we meet during our lives. Because I know it's hard to do. However, acceptance, just try it, give it a week, a challenge for yourselves that I'm just going to try and accept the situation, accept the people, because what I do is my karma, what they do is their karma. Treat people, with love, respect. Tell your mind that, look, I'm going to master you. You're going to be my best friend. Talk to yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes you need to have a pep talk to yourself and try to make the mind your best friend instead of your worst enemy. So thank you for joining me on this video. It's been a pleasure as always, and I hope you do like the video. And I want to put more out there, so hopefully the next one is going to be about happiness and what is happiness. So I look forward for you guys joining me, and thank you for your time today, and have a good day. Bye now.